While Call of Duty has been adding pride flags and transgender bullet skins, unironically, Battlefield did not come to play. It came to deliver what military shooter gamers want. And so far, it's proving to work because their beta numbers, their open beta numbers on Steam have surpassed Call of Duty's on all time, right? Of all time. Let's go ahead and dive into this video. Now, I did play in this open beta, and I do have some critiques and some problems. I'm at the point, as much as I love the presentation and love so many things about Battlefield 6, I actually have a lot of critiques, and I'm not sure I'm going to buy it. Let me go ahead and talk about this first, and then I will dive into my critiques. But I will say, even with all the critiques that I have and everything, Battlefield is absolutely crushing Call of Duty with what it's doing. It's delivering a more superior product. And as we can see here, it has beaten Call of Duty's all-time Steam player count record, right? So here we have this article that talks about it. Now, as we can see here, Battlefield 6's beta has beaten Call of Duty's all-time player count because COD's peak is at 491,670 concurrent players, which that's a lot. Respect. But then we have we have Battlefield's peak, Battlefield 6 open beta with over 500,000 players, okay? So it didn't beat it by like a huge sum, but it did beat it. Now, a lot of people are going to say, hey, can this momentum be carried on to the actual game? Because, you know, open beta, it's free for everyone to play. I know some people didn't realize that. They thought they had to pre-order it because I talked about on my Instagram stories how I was playing the Battlefield 6 open beta. And someone's like, it's not really an open beta if you have to pre-order it, right? And it's like, I did not pre-order it. You can play it you could play it without pre-ordering it. Granted, the open beta is not a thing right now. So my big thing with and as I've been talking about, that Battlefield is doing so much better than Call of Duty. Call of Duty is really leaning into some really goofy stuff. Call of Duty is also, I don't like what they're doing. When I made a video about that Black Ops 7 teaser as well, I don't really like what they're doing with the whole story, with the whole like, okay, here's this futuristic robot. Some people were in my comments like, you didn't even know the main character. No, of course I didn't know the main character. You think I'm going to play Call of Duty to get to know the characters? No, my experience with Call of Duty has been Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2. I don't know. I played a couple since then, but it was online play, right? Now, I did play the Modern Warfare 2's campaign and enjoyed that, but it wasn't like character focused at all. I remember that started out with like a 9/11 mission or something like that. But anyway, it was just like, hey, here's some military combat. That's what I like with Call of Duty. So now where it's just like, okay, we're going to focus on this character. Now we're going to do this futuristic stuff with these robots and these humanitarian robots. And this hologram girl, okay? So basically Cortana, okay, we've got Halo for that. I don't know. I just don't like this direction, right? And not only that, but in the online play, right? The Goofy skins, the Beavis and Butthead skins, the Nicki Minaj skins, the Squid Game skins? I don't know. They're trying to be like Fortnite in that. Now, if I'm going to play an online military shooter, I want to feel like I'm in a dadgum war. I don't want to see all this goofy stuff. That I would play Fortnite if I just wanted to play a shooter with a bunch of goofy stuff. But I don't even play Fortnite. Like, not even the Lara Croft skins could bring me back to Fortnite. I'm over it. So, and the same thing with Call of Duty. Not even the Lara Croft skin could bring me to Call of Duty. First of all, because it was hideous. But also, just I'm not interested in Call of Duty at all. And my big gripe with like Call of Duty versus Battlefield is that Call of Duty, online mode specifically, Call of Duty is just like these small maps. It just feels like ADD gaming to me, where it's just like, gotta get that KDA up, KDA up, and it's just run into someone, shoot, kill or die, run into someone, spawn right away, go again. It's just constant. Okay, I'm back again. Let me just like mow down as many people as possible. And then when it comes with that, and I noticed that as I was improving my game with Call of Duty was that, okay, the best way to really, for me at least, in my experience, to improve my game was to just learn positioning and learn the best spots to be at that's going to get a lot of foot traffic so that you see the person before they see you. Because when you have, just such low shots to kill, then yeah, a lot of it's just who saw the person first, right? So I felt like that was the case with Call of Duty. And then I did better in Call of Duty when I just learned specific spots of the maps. I just learned the map super well, and I would just be at the right places on the map, right? But with Battlefield and my experience with Battlefield, I started with Battlefield 2. And I think Battlefield 2 is the best shooter of all time. I will stand by that. And what made Battlefield so great, first of all, the huge maps, it actually feels like you're in a war. There's more team-based gameplay with that, okay? And not only that, but when you didn't have health regen, which I like. I don't want a health regen. I want a medic to be able to heal me or something like that, right? You didn't have the health regen. It did take more shots to kill somebody versus what they're doing with like Call of Duty or even modern Battlefield does. And you had long respawn times. I want to say it was like 30 seconds to respawn, if I remember correctly, in Battlefield. So whenever you were out with your squad, okay, let's say you're doing conquest mode and it's like, all right, we're taking B, let's go. You work with your squad, you got teamwork in play, you take out the enemy squad that's there, and then they've got 30 seconds to spawn. So you've got time to take over that flag, right? And so when I played Battlefield 6 beta, sadly, they are taking some elements, and they have been, this isn't new to Battlefield, they have taken some elements of the ADD gaming from Call of Duty and implemented that into Battlefield. So on Battlefield, it's like, yes, respawn times are way too quick to where it's just like, dude, here we are and Conquest is the only thing worth playing right now, in my opinion. Because especially with the open beta maps, because then there were smaller ones. Conquest had the bigger maps, and to me, Battlefield, you need big maps to like play Battlefield properly. Otherwise, it feels like a Call of Duty ADD gaming experience. Oh, let me spawn in, kill, spawn in, die, spawn in, die, spawn in, die, kill, spawn in, and it's just constant. And so that is one of my gripes with, and I don't know if they'll fix it because it seems like people like that. It seems like the modern gamers like that ADD gaming experience, and maybe this just isn't for me, but I would love to see more of a Battlefield 2. Man, I wish they would just remaster Battlefield 2 and keep it exactly as it was and drop it in there, because I'm just like, man, I had fun with the open beta. Not even gonna lie, I had a good time, but it just felt like, okay, like I don't like it when I kill somebody and they're back that quick. And it's like, well, what even was the point in the grand scheme of things? Like, okay, every death is going to take a point off of their points thing with the conquest, and you need to start. I get it, but it's like, it's just it's not strategic enough. I don't want to win a match because, okay, we win because we took out more of them, like on a conquest mode. I want to win a conquest mode out of strategy purposes. And of course, the gunplay is huge. But another thing with the gunplay is that there is less skill involved when so few bullets will kill a target. There's more skill if it actually takes a little more bullets. It doesn't have to be a lot. I know some people say, that's not realistic. I mentioned this on my Instagram stories and I got a reply. That's not realistic. Neither is respawning in general. Okay, but I'm just saying, if you want a video game, you want it to be a video game, you want to implement some sort of strategy, why don't they go back to the classic Battlefield systems that made Battlefield so good? Go ahead and let Battlefield be a more strategic game, which I still think it's better than Call of Duty, even in the state that it's in there. And I know that it's open beta. They're still going to make some changes, but I don't know if they're going to make changes in those areas that I want them to personally, because it seems like a lot of people are good with it. A lot of people like it. Look, Call of Duty, they can release that over and over and over again and sell a bazillion units because, hey, there's a group of gamers who are all about that life. So I don't know. That's just me. I certainly don't want Battlefield to be like a hero shooter or anything like that. I just want Battlefield to be like Battlefield 2, like the good old days of Battlefield that were a blast and that had more strategy. Like, I like that. I think that whenever you die in Battlefield, it needs to be more impactful. And whenever you get a kill, it needs to be more impactful. And if people are just respawning that quick and it just takes hardly any bullets to even kill somebody, then it's just not that, it doesn't really make as big of a difference as it should when they can just come back right away. Or, oh, I won that battle because I saw them first. Instead of, oh, okay, there was actually some sort of technique and skill involved in the shooting because it takes more shots to kill. And not a ton of shots to kill, but a little more would be ideal. Like, you know, actual classic Call of Duty or Battlefield days. I just think that those were peak. Those were the absolute best days of Battlefield. It was like Battlefield 2 range. About 1942, Battlefield 2. Like, that was peak. But anyway, there you have it for this video. At the end of the day, I still think that Battlefield is doing a lot of great things. And I do love to see that this focus on truly being a military shooter, I love to see that it's succeeding. Okay, so despite my problems and the fact that I might not even get it because of those issues, but I do like to see that it's succeeding and that we can see some more healing in the gaming industry and less focus on the pride flags and the virtue signaling and all that stuff, and more focus on the testosterone and the explosions. So there you have it for this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I would love to see you on my Bible channel, Bible Time with Melanie Mack, where I've got on the weekdays, I've got Bible-based vlogs, I've got Jeep vlogs, I've got Bible verse of the day every single day, all that kind of good stuff. But thank you all so much again. I will catch you next time, and in the meantime, go boom.